Hi, this video is going to go over the Unit 3 Argument Breakdown Worksheet. This is the first assignment in Unit 3, and you're going to be accessing it in your course by going to the Unit 3 tab, Assignments and Submissions, and it'll be the first assignment listed. You can also find it on your course schedule or in the announcements for the course. In order to complete this assignment, you'll be using the reading from Unit 2. You were assigned R2 by your instructor. In this particular semester, it happens to be students returning to campus want the university experience, but it could be a different R2 depending on what semester you're in and when you're watching this video. You can always find the reading by going to course readings and it'll list them right here for you if there's any question about what reading you should be using at any time. So we're using R2, and you'll be going to Unit 3, Assignments and Submissions, and it's the Argument Breakdown Worksheet that we're covering today. So you'll download the Argument Breakdown Worksheet by clicking on this link, and it should open down here in the corner for you. It is a Word document. And this assignment is asking you to think carefully about the overall argument in R2. So you'll start by writing out the article title and the author or authors, and then I want you to think about the claim that's being made. What is the claim that is presented in this article? The main claim. What is the main point that the authors are trying to make? Then I'm going to ask you to identify the tone. What is the primary tone that is used throughout the article in order to deliver the argument? There is a list of tones in the course. You can go to Unit 1, Learning Materials. There should be a web page here about tone, or you can Google search that and find some information on the internet, some lists of tone words. I then want you to think about who is the audience. Who is the author or authors trying to reach? Who do they hope will read this article? Who has the power to make these changes or change this behavior? So who do you think is the target audience? The next part of the Argument Breakdown Worksheet asks you to identify 2 reasons or supporting points that the author presents to support the claim. I recommend including a direct quote from the original article with the page or paragraph number. I believe for this particular semester it's paragraph number, but include a paragraph number so that you can find this quote again later, because you will use this in your next assignment when you begin planning your actual essay. So identify one reason or example or detail that the author uses to support their claim, and then identify what type of evidence this is. Now, this is the first time that we're encountering types of evidence, so it will be valuable for you to look up facts, statistics, personal experience, expert opinions, and hypotheticals. And this information is available in your course. If you go to Unit 3 and you go to Learning Materials, there is a page here on evidence and how to evaluate it. So this will be valuable for you to review before you complete this part of the worksheet. You'll also come up with a second supporting point and also identify what type of evidence this is. Now, not all evidence is facts. Sometimes authors use a story about their own life. That would be personal experience. Maybe they're referring to someone who is an expert in the field, and this piece of evidence is expert opinion. So make sure that you're looking over the types of evidence and identifying them correctly. And then the last part of the worksheet is asking you to identify a counterargument. So I'm asking you to think about the claim that the author is making, and then try to think about what would an opponent say. If somebody disagreed with the authors, what would their counterargument be? If this were a debate, what would the other side of the debate be arguing? So it's not something that you're going to find in the article. I just want you to think about it. And this is actually this probably should go back to a little bit of what you did in Unit 2. So this might not be the first time that you're encountering the idea of counter-argument. But if you are, you can go into the course in the same place where we were, Unit 3, Learning Materials, and there is a page here about counter-argument so that you can review that concept before you complete this worksheet. So I want you to identify the counter-argument, and then I want you to tell me whether you think the author or authors addressed the counter-argument. Did they talk about this at all? Did they refute it? Refute means to argue against something. So maybe they provided evidence to argue against the counter-argument. Or maybe they didn't. Sometimes authors don't mention a counter-argument at all. They don't address it and it just goes unsaid. So that's your question, is did they address it or refute it? And if they did, how did they do so? So that's the argument breakdown worksheet. All the information that you need in order to complete this document is located in your course. The reading, remember, is R2, not R3, the one that you found in the library database. Do not use that article for this assignment. And if you have any questions at all, of course, you're always welcome to email me.